Alrighty. Hello everybody. This is Show here, and now, before we start, let us give a brief little review. In the last part, a number of things have happened. Now, Izuku Midoriya killed a man at the age of 12 years old, and that has been quite a lot of things. Izuku, he showed exactly how powerful his devil fruit is. He kicked a man's head clean off. His ability allows him to turn into light. He might not move as fast as the speed of light, but he still moves pretty goddamn fast. Even if he moved at a fifth of that speed, let alone a 20th or a 100th, he would still be moving at immense amounts of speed. And the amount of force behind his blows will be enough to kill any living person on the planet. Now, Deku, he showed how powerful he was. And the man in charge of his familia, he saw Deku's potential right then and there. Deku, without mercy, killed a man in less than 2 attacks. One strike was a kick. The second kicked the man's head clear off his shoulders. He talked to Izuku and was proud of him. He earned a $50,000 bounty, and he was able to claim it. And that was where the lightspeed hitman was born. Izuku has done quite a lot for his familia, and he has become well known in the Underworld. Over the course of 5 years, Izuku started to do quite a lot. People, they've heard of the lightspeed hitman, and some have theorized him to be the user of the Pika no Mi, but some aren't really too clear. The hitman doesn't make public appearances. He doesn't meet in person, he does everything over the phone and online. You give him a target, he gives you a quota, or a price for the job, how dangerous it might be, or how influential that person might be. I mean, it's simple though. He always gets the job done. And people, they started to hear quite a lot about this guy. The government, they've heard rumors of this man, and they're expecting somebody who is old, wise, and experienced and has a quirk, not a devil fruit. If they had a devil fruit, they could just walk right up and kill the man right then and there, no questions asked, and get away scot-free. That's the thing though. The government, they're not too sure. They have multiple people on file that they believe to be users of devil fruits. And many of the people they've looked through and even captured from time to time, they aren't the users of said fruits. Very rarely is an alias in a fruit actually a thing. However, it's not uncommon, or it's not impossible, I should say. Now, we do currently have Izuku at the age of 17 years old. Izuku has a small list of contacts, and right now, he does at least get his turn. Him bringing his hand up and shaking the man's hand who helped to raise him. The man who helped teach him how to kill, how to survive in the world that is harsh and unkind to those who don't take what they need. And Izuku, he shakes the man's hand as the man is going to nod at Izuku, expressing about how they may hire him in the future for anything. Especially since, because of him, their familia has been able to thrive. They have been able to take down a larger familia of their own, the one that had theirs under its thumb for a long time. And after that one was eradicated, people looked at theirs a little differently. They looked at theirs with a lot more respect, because they certainly have power. And while they don't flaunt it around, when they do use it, they annihilate their enemies. Now, Deku right now, he does is at least gonna let go of the man's hand, as Aya's gonna walk up. Her gonna walk up, and actually gonna grab Deku. Deku being pulled into a hug, as right now he at least does go to turn his head and bring his hands up to hug A. Her expressing about how Izuku, he really should know. Her is going to pull back. That he does have a home here, and he'll always be welcome here. If you ever just need to, give her a call, even if he just wants to talk. And Deku doesn't want to smile. Right now her long hair, somewhat going to get into Deku's face. Him actually trying to tell A. He does understand. They have his information. He knows what they all are. And Deku, He actually is going to step backwards, her letting go of him as he's going to bring his hands up. Him going to bring his hands up around the back of his neck, unclipping his necklace, and actually going to bring it back forwards. Clipping it together, you're going to hold it out towards A. And A does remember the day she gave Izuku that necklace. Her holding her hand out, as Deku does drop it in her hand. And she doesn't want to smile. Her trying not to tear up. As Izuku, he doesn't turn. Him going to walk to the car and get into the back seat. As Deku, he is going to roll down the window and give one last wave. As he's going to tell the driver to head into the city. Now, the familia is going to watch Deku leave, before business does go back to usual routines. And A, she is somewhat worried. Deku is heading out into the world. The world is an unkind place to people, and he's going into it dressed in a nice pressed suit. She knows what's going to happen, especially whenever he does get into town. People might try to tail him or get a good eye on him. Some want to know exactly what he might be doing, or if that fancy suit has cash in the pockets. And that doesn't worry her. There are small gangs in the cities. There are people who understand that the world government, while they might try to enforce laws, they also don't do it very well. They're stretched far too thin. They have an entire world to look over. And as harsh it is to say, the bad guys outnumber the good guys. At least the powerful ones. And with that, we do currently have in the city. Right now Deku's car is driving down the street. And someone, they actually do go to watch the car pull over. As Deku, he has to step out of the back seat and get out. Right now Deku going to walk to the trunk and pop it open. As he has to pull out two different bags and then going to set them down. Closing the trunk, as he's just going to tap onto the back of it. The driver going to turn the car around and drive down the street. And some people are staring at Izuku. A nice fancy ride. A rich brat. And right now Deku, he does also going to turn and look around. Some people going to turn their heads away, as some don't. And Deku, he does also going to stare at the person across the street. Them sitting there. As Deku is going to bring his hand up into a finger gun. Him holding it right at them, and he's going to act as if he's firing a gun. Him bringing it up towards the sky. And right now the person, they do somewhat smirk at Izuku. As Deku does smirk at them, I'm going to turn around and walk into the hotel. Now, Deku, he does going to walk inside. Him going to get a room, as someone is currently tailing him. And Deku can tell. He understands what's happening. He's new in town and he has a suit. They think he's possibly a government worker. Or maybe he's just some sort of marine. Maybe he's some sort of law enforcement. Undercover agent? Yeah, right. Not anything like that. And currently Deku, as he is walking to the lobby, someone is going to stop him. Then he's going to express, bring up their hand, as it currently does have a flame emitting from the palm. Hey there, Mr. Suit. You mind stepping out of my way? No, I won't. Listen, I suggest you hand over your money here. You really don't know who I am. That doesn't matter. Listen, just, empty your pockets. Now, Deku's to bring up his left hand. Him expressing going to bring it up towards his pocket. Him grabbing it at his waistband and pulling out his gun and putting it directly to the person's throat. Him pulling back the hammer as two people behind him, they do something to step backwards. And right now some of the security, they're watching on. As someone is to clear their throat and point to a sign. Right now a man going to tap on it with a weapon. As Deku does to turn his head and see that. I take it that you don't listen very well, do you? Right now security coming to walk up. As Deku, he has to look around. Him going to pull back the hammer and squeeze the trigger slightly. Him going to lower the hammer down and put it back into his waistband. As the man is going to get aggressive with Izuku. And Deku does to stand there without moving. The man going to bring his hand up as Deku does to throw out his fist, smashing it into the guy's throat. and he doesn't want to kill over Ford's in pain. As Deku does a step backwards and throw his hands up, him at least expressing security about what happened a minute ago. And some of the people are looking around. As Deku, he's to take his bags and express to them they really shouldn't mess with him. Now, security does have some questions, but Deku, he knows how to bring his hand down and grab at his back pocket. Him going to pull out a very large bill, as he doesn't turn to security. Him expressing that he should buy all of his boys lunch, since they seem to be too hungry to do their job. And the man is stared at Zuko. Him pulling out another large bill and handing over the two to the man. As currently the punk who's in the lobby, he is dressed a little differently. He's not a suit, and he's assuming the kid doesn't know who exactly owns the hotel. And Izuku, he's at least being a little nice about this. He may have caused a little bit of a scene here, but then again, when they go for surveillance later, he wasn't the guy who instigated this fight. He was just showing he wasn't going to be pushed around. And Deku, he currently just going to sit in his hotel room. Him is going to look over a few of his clothes and thinking about a few things. Right now, him stepping out of the shower and messing up his hair a bit with some grease. As Izuku, he's going to walk over and look at the clothes he has laid out. I'm going to get dressed in some shoes, some jeans, and a regular shirt. As Deku, he currently just doesn't stand up. Him going to pack his suit in a case. And right now, Deku, he has a lot going through his mind. Okay, so let's see. He already has some connections pretty well. He doesn't have a bounty, and he's not really that well known. So, let's see. Information about what happened to his dad. He knows the people who are involved in this. They must have devil fruits, which means they gotta be pretty powerful. From what he understands from following the paper trail, the fruit he ate, the Pika Pika no Mi, he doesn't know the last user of it, but they were definitely a powerful person, so either they were killed or they finally died of old age. So there's that. The fruit popped up in, what was it? Canada somewhere? Or no. Was it somewhere in the US? That's where things get hazy. He can't find a trail before Canada. But then it got shipped over to, well, China, then over to Japan, and then things were a bit tricky there. So, they have money and strings to pull. Then again, they're also powerful and influential. So, whoever is trying to traffic the fruits, trying to collect them, or build their own familia, he has to look into this. No. It might not be a celestial dragon. It could be the world government. Yeah, they definitely have their own users, but that's another problem. So let's see. They got their own people there, but okay. So the world government, they have their own fruit users. He's heard rumors about another fruit recently, but how true is that? Information is trippy, but he knows that he's heard rumors of a powerful shipment somewhere coming in. Ask around and see what he can find. Okay, there definitely is that. That right now took his mind. Him bring his hands up, and running his fingers through his hair. He definitely has a lot to think about. And right now, Izuku just gonna head out. Right now, somebody in the hotel watching Izuku leave. They know what happened earlier, and they're concerned whether or not that guy might cause trouble for them again. However, he did show some respect to them. He basically bought them all lunch for the day. So, he showed them respect. So out of respect, they won't search his room, especially since they did look a little bit into him. And the license plate for the car, it heads back to a small familia. The boy definitely does have some connections, and that's been made apparent. And right now Izuku, he decided to head out to a bar. Him curious about exactly what might be going on here. And Deku, he currently doesn't walk in. Right now, some people are going to watch as Izuku, he stepped into the room with an, a long coat on. As Deku, he just doesn't stand there. Him walking in and going to walk over to the bartender. Him going to set down a few bills and ask them exactly if they can get him something to drink and if they can answer a question for him. Depends on the question. First, I'm going to lean forwards, trying to at least get a better tip. Asking Izuku, what exactly does he want to know? I'm still going to look down. Well, I'm curious about some information. Information? On what exactly? Anything you can tell me. Noteworthy? Something interesting, let's just say. Well, what do you mean? Locals, or are you looking for someone who came by recently? No. I want to learn a bit more about, let's just say something going on. Let's just say I know someone who knows somebody, and they definitely want information on something going on. Do you know anything? You know, loose lips get you killed around here. And that's only what, 300, 400? The type of cash, it is a bit more concerning for you to wave it around here. They're hearing a bit of a shift behind him. Him going to turn, asking the person behind him if they really think that they can threaten him with a gun. Kid, you got no idea what's going on here. You don't really. Deku going to throw back his hand. And right does at least increase the speed of his throw and shift it a bit more. Him turning his entire back and going to move a little bit fast. Right now the main being sent flying across the entire bar. And if people are going to watch as that guy does it, sent flying and smashing across the pool table. And right now Deku, he has to turn back. Him is going to keep his hand up. We're going to lower it down. Him putting it onto the bar. I was just asking a simple question. Well, so, you looking for information on the Marines, or what? The government agencies, they're all a bit scarce around here. So I'm curious. What do you want to know? Let's just say I'm looking for somebody who can help me out. Someone who, they know the town a bit. I'm new around here. I don't come by very often. Really? Well, I could help you, but my memory's just so fuzzy. They're going to bring his hand down and going to at least pull out a bit of cash. I'm going to set that down in front of her. And if people do so, I'm going to turn and look at Deku again. I'm going to ask her again if this can help jog her memory. Her going to bring her hand down and grab onto the cash. Her going to start open it up and start to count a few bills. This is 3 grand. A little concerned now what you want to know. What I want to know is quite simple. Someone walking up to Deku, bringing their hand up onto his shoulder. And Deku's not going to turn. Him, right now, going to at least try and reach down for his waistband. The person expressing, hey, what do you want? You might want to be careful in here. Take a look around. So what? That guy part of your crew? No, actually. A lot of people don't like that guy. Though, you did interrupt those guys' pool game. Now Deku turning his head. And seeing the guys standing there. Him gonna turn back to the bartender. Buy those guys a few rounds. Deku turning back. I'm gonna walk over and at least tell the guys. He bought them the rounds for the rest of the night. How about that? You really think that will help? I do. Because the alternative is either kill all of you or put you in the hospital. Though I could leave one of you alive. Or just without your hands broken. Someone needs to drive. You're really cocky, aren't you, kid? Sort of have to be. Though, it's not cocky whenever I can back up my actions. Now, I'm wondering though, do you really want to try and mess with me? How about this, kid? You bought our rounds. Though, what about our game? Kinda ruined it, didn't you? Start over. I'm gonna turn and walk away. Him walking back over. The person standing there at least trying to express, right out of their hair, somewhat tied back, that maybe he needs to think for a minute about what he's doing. I don't need to think, I need information. On what? A few things. Deku bring his hand out. Izuku. You can call me Mina. Really? So what are you doing here, Mina? I'm doing my own thing. Though I am curious. What are you doing? Asking around, trying to learn about something. I'm a bit bored and I want a piece of the action. Do you know anything about the action, Mina? I might. Though that does depend. You want to help us? I can. But I'm curious. You a part of a group? Familia? Gang? Or what? I have some friends. Some rather good ones. Though I'm curious about what you are trying to do. Me? I'm trying to make it to the top. Let's just put it that. I'm looking for someone. Really? And why are you looking for them? They killed my father. Now, the bartender isn't going to fall silent. Some people looking at Deku. So he's got a vendetta. He'll fit right into this town. And Deku, he does at least try to ask Mina, so I'm going to lean forwards. So, what exactly does she know? Follow me. Or I'm going to turn and walk away. And Deku doesn't want to smile. He's curious to where this might take him. Though, he's going to be running towards the danger. But right now we do currently cut back to the hotel. Someone is currently watching a few things happen. They're watching the feed from earlier. The guy pulled a gun, the way he did it, and the outfit he's wearing. The car he pulled up in. The fact that he's here, it does mean quite a lot. Though, he has connections to a familia. Though he doesn't have a sigil, a ring, or a necklace. No indicators. He recently just cut ties. That's what they know. Though, they do want him to know who really does control this town. Maybe a show of force is necessary. Maybe something to tell him that he's not the one in charge here is needed. That would definitely be curious. Though at the same time, he does show respect? No. He defended himself. He showed that even if people walk into this lobby, they're not going to mess with him. He might have been able to rely on their guards, but even their guards failed. So, there might need to be something done about that. The person's not going to stand up. I'm going to walk away. They need to at least write a note to him. Maybe see what he can do. That will definitely be quite interesting. Now, with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed. And yeah, we're straight up going for a monster AU. I know. Things are going to be getting to be a little interesting, and I'm going to try and make this be a little bit more cohesive, but there might be a lot of just crime going on, so yeah. Anyways, I do hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll catch you guys in the next part, where things might start to get a little bit more interesting.